Hello everyone, I'm Tom64.
I'm Chef X Grenade.
And I am Digital Alchemist.
And we are loving that classic PS1 intro. That's the goods.
Bass! The bass!
Oh, it's amazing. And welcome to the Ape Escape playthrough, the HFC Ape Escape playthrough. This was a bit of a last-minute addition to our playthrough roster this year, but I thought since Jack and Daxter went so well, which Chaff also recorded, he did the footage for this playthrough, I thought, you know what? People have been asking for Ape Escape for a while. Let's fucking do it. It's PlayStation year, basically. So, Chaff, tell us a little bit about Ape Escape, in general.
Well, Ape Escape, the big thing about this game is that it was the first PlayStation game where you actually had to use the DualShock analog controller, which what it said in that disclaimer at the beginning of the video. Because the focus of this game is you have to use various gadgets to catch these monkeys, and you use them with the right analog stick in various ways, like, clicking them, rotating them, pulling them in different directions. So you need that right stick to pretty much do everything in the game.
Yeah, you ain't playing this with a traditional PlayStation control, and boy did I find that out the hard way. Luckily I got a proper DualShock not long after, but it was dark times. Dark times for young Tom64. Digi, tell us a little bit about who developed the game, mate.
So, Ape Escape is one of those nice in-house jobs. It was Sony's kind of real push at a franchise kind of thing. So it was developed, like I say, in-house by Sony Computer Entertainment Japan, and then was just happily localized across the world, and away you go. So it was nice and easy, all contained within the company.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to bop about through time, as it were, collecting monkeys that have escaped. I may be getting a bit ahead of myself here, but it's a time travel story. Just assume I came from the future to tell you this.
See, it all comes together now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So, Chaff, how did you first get into Ape Escape, mate?
Well, I remember seeing a few screenshots of this game in a old issue of GamePro back in the day, but I think I just ended up renting it at a video store way back in like 99, just out of curiosity, and I just fell in love with it. Like, I'd probably say this is my all-time favorite video game. It just never gets old. Yes.
Wow.
So when you told me that I was going to, do a playthrough of this game, I was excited to record it. Like,
I like that transition, by the way. That was great. What about you, Digi? What brought you into the Ape Escape fold, besides all the monkeys and whatnot?
I originally played this at a friend's house, actually. He had it, because I had a PlayStation, but I was, similar as you, I was not of a DualShock-owning household.
Oh, us plebs down in the lower regions of the world.
None of that analog crap. Ugh. But yeah, I played it, a friend of mine had it, he played it, and then, next time we were around, we all played our own save file, and I was just like, this is the coolest shit my 5-year-old mind can process.
Yeah, I keep forgetting you're fairly younger than me.
Yeah, well, we digital babamist, there we go, that'll do. But yes, I was very young and very impressionable, and this game blew my fucking mind, and I have loved it ever since. I'm in a similar boat to Chaff in that Ape Escape's one of my favourite games. I prefer Ape Escape 3, personally, but the franchise as a whole is very, very close to my heart. Okay,
quick question for you, Chaff. Have you beaten the game?
I've beaten it more times than I can count.
Digi, have you beaten the game?
I have beaten quite a few times, yeah. This was actually the first game I LP'd on YouTube.
Oh, well, nice. Very appropriate that we bring you in for this then. I, however, have not beaten the game.
You fucking heathen.
I know. I remember getting like halfway to 2/3 of the way through the game, and for whatever reason I just put it down and went back to playing like Abe's Odyssey or The Misadventures of Tron Bonne, or what's another vague game that
Spyro.
Yes, well, no, Spyro's not vague or obscure, it's fucking legendary,
yes,
mate.
that vague, popular PlayStation platformer, Spyro.
Sorry, I didn't realise you were going for vague. I thought you were just listing off games.
Okay, well, the point is, this will be a learning experience for me, as well as, like, some of you in the audience who may not be familiar with the Ape Escape franchise, but we're basically going to go through the game as thoroughly as we can. This is an all monkeys run, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, we're just gonna get all of the monkeys, all of the usual collectibles, nothing special.
Okay. Monkey business. There's gonna be so many of those types of joke in the playthrough, aren't there?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, It's kind of weird actually watching this, because I was watching a bit of it before we came to record just to kind of see what was going on. And it's really bizarre because the US and the NTSC, so the US region, and the PAL, the European region, they both have different voice casts.
For some reason.
For some very bizarre reason. And it's actually really nice to hear the American version, because the voice cast isn't shit in the American version.
Oh, shots fired.
I hate the European voice cast. They make everyone sound so obnoxiously annoying, and I hate it. But it's just one of those really bizarre things. Like, I think for 2 and 3, they kept the same voices. They didn't bother changing them across regions. Just number 1.
No, I think I've actually seen gameplay from Ape Escape 2 from the UK version, and they did get different voices for that one too, because it's on PS4 right now.
Okay.
Oh yes, of course it is. Yeah, it got remastered.
So those are just the basics of, how to capture monkeys. You hit them with the stun, rod or baton or lightsaber, if you want to be a pleb like that. And then you catch them with the monkey net.
That's pretty much the whole game in a nutshell.
That's it. Yep, okay, commentary's over. Thanks very much for watching, everyone.
Alright, time to go home.
Wow, the shortest playthrough in HFC's history, I think.
So yeah, the big thing about this game is that you can have up to 4 gadgets on hand at once. So you equip them to the face buttons, and you switch them by pressing the appropriate face button.
People give the N64 controller a lot of shit for, how do I hold this and, use buttons correctly, sort of thing. It was this game that fucked me up the most, because, you have to use a shoulder button to jump? I was so used to, A or X, and it took a while for my mind to be able to process it.
Right, I was just thinking about that earlier, and it's yeah, it is kind of weird at first, but if you think of R1 as a trigger with a gun, but in a platforming, it's about jumping, so it feels a lot more natural that way.
Well, with the N64 and GoldenEye, the Z button was underneath the controller. That still wouldn't have helped me. So this is our hub. We can access all the various areas of time because, in this universe, monkeys have access to time travel, and I guess they'll be monkeying around in, the Cretaceous period, I don't know, the Iron Age and so on.
That's the layman's premise of the game, yeah. In basic terminology. So what's actually happened is that Specter, the white-haired monkey at the start, who looked very unassuming and then put the helmet on and suddenly turned into evil fucking mastermind, because plot, so he hates humans,
of course,
and has decided to send all of the monkeys back in time to rewrite history so that humans never existed.
Yeah, so basically what I said then.
Basically what you said, yes, just in a more technically explained way. So it's now Spike's job to go back and catch all the monkeys, send them back to the right time period, and stop everything going to shit.
I think this is the area of, the main hub that confused me the most as a child, because I was mostly going for the monkeys, and the Specter coins didn't really register with me. I suppose I should have likened them to the DK coins in Donkey Kong Countries, 1 through 3, but just wasn't happening, I guess.
Well, we got 1 right now, so we're already off to a good start.
So yeah, 1's better than nothing.
Some of them are so well hidden. The Specter coins, I think, caused me the most hassle throughout the game. Getting all of them.
Yeah, there's one in particular that we won't see for a long time, but some of them are, stupidly hard to get.
Man, this OST is bringing it back to me, man. I'm getting the nostalgia chills.
Yeah, man, Soichi Terada, he's done the music for this game, Ape Escape 3, and some of the other spin-offs. Just amazing drum and bass, industrial techno trance. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Chaff and I have had many a conversation on Twitter about just how mind-blowingly orgasmic the soundtrack to this game is.
Now, this is what I like about Ape Escape. Well, there's many things I like, but this in particular is pretty interesting. Rather than just, throw you into the level and have you, get to grips with gadgets and the like, it actually gives you, a mini training area with which to, learn about them and such. And this little thing here, what's it called, Chef?
The water net.
The water net basically allows you to travel underwater and catch monkeys and whatnot.
It's a little weird to control because you have to hold R1 to swim fast. It's slightly awkward, but once you get used to it, it's manageable.
It's a very safe word to use there, manageable.
Yeah, like, the control scheme for this game can be a bit odd at times, and I've gotten used to it over the years.
Yeah.
And I think it could be improved if they had maybe put certain abilities on other buttons, because, like, you can use R1 and R2 to jump, because I don't know why they did that for both buttons. You could just, use R1 to jump, but then use R2 for something else that would free up,
Well, we didn't make the game. We're just here talking over other people's intellectual properties.
Yep, that was 1999. This is now.
Man, the difference between, and this is really stretching for a comparison, but the difference between Mega Man Legends and this is astounding, just in terms of, like, 3D movement and whatnot. I don't know, it's just something about the art style that compelled me to compare the two.
Yeah, it's got this, like, kind of Saturday morning 90s anime feel to it.
Wasn't there an Ape Escape anime?
There was.
There is, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get in depth in regards to that later on, so we don't run out of things to say. Are you just, like, showing off underwater now?
Yeah, I was showing off how if you go underwater and then you go into first person mode with L2 and then hold R1, you can swim in first person. It's like a little
very
exploit.
nice.
It's just for fun.
His nose worries me. The guy on the door, for reference.
Yeah, that's a very weird picture of the professor. I don't know why his nose is so big. Well, then again, it is pretty big, so that's appropriate.
Indeed. So, Chaff, walk us through, like, the characters of the game. Like, who are the main guys? What's the deal with the professor? And who is Specter, exactly?
Well, Specter is just a monkey. He's a monkey who performs at an amusement park, and somehow the professor left the Peak Point helmet in Specter's play area, and he got a hold of it and became amazingly smart and somehow evil. And then Spike is he's just a kid. Just an ordinary kid. He and his friend Jake, they like to hang out at the lab for some reason, I guess, every now and then.
Well, dude, if you got to test out these gadgets, wouldn't you hang around the lab like that?
True, good point. So the professor, he's just your usual, I'm an awesome scientist, look at all this cool stuff I made kind of guy. And Natalie is his assistant.
Okay. No relation, I'm assuming.
No. Well, I'm trying to think. I think in some, I think she might be his granddaughter or something. I've read that somewhere, unless I'm reading that wrong.
So the basic premise of each Ape Escape level is there's a set amount of monkeys to catch, and once you have caught them all, you can get the Specter coins if you want. If you want to tackle some minigames, we won't judge you if you don't want to get them. The level basically ends. So there you go, you got it on the second try. Yes. Oh yeah, I did it, I caught the monkeys. The fuck is that in the background?
That is a Zuka.
It terrifies me.
Yeah, the enemies in this game do have names, but they weren't given in this version of the game. They were only given them in the remake on the PSP.
Okay.
For some very bizarre reason. Natalie is the professor's granddaughter, by the way.
Oh, I was right. Yeah, I'm right!
Up until now it was just a fairy, but it was a game fairy, and that's what matters.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And now it's game facts.
Oh, shit, son.
Shit, son, we're getting down and dirty with the facts.
So we have worlds and then levels within those worlds, is what I'm taking from this.
Mm-hmm. You get 3 per world. Yeah, 3 levels per
era. Yeah.
Ah.
Also, this lady right here is called Cassie. Kasi.
Is that ever said in the game?
No, it's said in the... I think it's said in the anime and in the PSP remake, I think. But it's never mentioned in this game, no.
Like, what does she do exactly?
She is essentially a computerized assistant, so her purpose is to tell Spike where he's going and how many monkeys he needs to catch and stuff like that. She is literally just like an information, but as you'll see later on, she gets another role later on in the game. But for now, she's just kind of, here's where you're going, here's what to do, have fun.
You may be wondering about the lights on top of the monkeys' helmets. They do serve a purpose. I believe blue means they're like docile and they haven't noticed you, right, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
Yellow means like cautious, I think, and red means extremely aware of you.
Yes.
If you walk up to a monkey, yeah, it will go red, basically. Think of it like the cones of vision in Metal Gear Solid. Like, blue is just that they haven't seen you, they're just wandering around. Yellow means you've hit the edge of the cone, what was that noise kind of thing. Red means you've walked in front of them and they are now heavily aware that you exist and will run the fuck away.
Funny you should mention Metal Gear. We'll come back to that later in the playthrough.
Oh, yeah.
There is a connection between Ape Escape and the Metal Gear series.
Somehow there is a connection between Ape Escape and Metal Gear Solid.
So we're just going to ignore that big old pterodactyl?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. It won't hurt you. It will try and pick you up and kind of, toss you away.
Ah, you're my baby now. Get in the nest. Oh my god, this thing fucking terrified the shit out of me.
Yeah, it looks terrifying, but as long as you stay on the edge of the platform, it can't hurt you at all, actually. You just kind of...
It's still big and intimidating, and it really scared me as a child.
That's fair. I've been afraid of big, blocky PS1 enemies.
Oh, okay, now you're just taking the piss out of me. That's not fair.
So yeah, this monkey's just gonna sit on this T-Rex's tail until you knock him off by getting the T-Rex to charge into the wall multiple times, and eventually... There you go.
Nice. You don't have to do that jump catch every time, Jeff.
Now the hip bump just makes it. It's the ultimate elite method of catching a monkey. You know you've played this game too much when you can pinpoint the hip bump.
See, Dizzy knows. He knows his stuff.
The amount of times I played Ape Escape. Like I say, it's the first game I LP'd on my channel, so it was kind of like my foresight into this miraculous world.
I'm trying to remember what my first LP was. I think it was either Pokemon Emerald or Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, the original one on the GBO.
Oh, nice.
Back on the old Ntom64 YouTube account, which no longer exists.
Sad face.
Nah, not so sad. It wasn't that great. HellfireComms is infinitely superior.
Exactly.
Alright, let's take a look in the monkey book.
Look at all these monkeys.
Yeah, they're all so similar, slightly different.
Oh, they have names!
They all have names, they all have...
And they want to watch wrestling!
What the fuck? I love random trivia like that. I don't know, it just personalises each of the monkeys so perfectly. So are we done with the Lost Lands now, or is that more of that era to go?
Nope, that is it for this part.
Okay, guys, we'll be moving on to another era next time, another level, another world, whatever you want to call it. Be sure to come back next time for more of the HFC Ape Escape playthrough. Goodbye for now.